with you some very some tips and tricks onto how to play the Predator in Predator's Hunting Grounds. And today I have some very intriguing things to show you. I have a few classes I would like to show you before we hop in a match as well. Well, we won't just be hopping on a match. We will also be playing and showing how to play Predator and the best things to do and techniques. Also, I'll be making several videos of several matches, several scores that I've made. As you see, I reached 150. It took a while. The grind was unreal. Is it worth going to 150? Yes, it is fantastic. You not just only get a Predator, but dreads for your Predator and a mask that is similar to the 87 Predator. The origins we were at was in Predator 2. He was the Predator that gave him the detective, the flintlock steel pistol, but we're not getting into that. You want to learn how to play the Predator and also learn the best loadout. So now, as we go over here, we're going to go to customization, go to Predator. Okay, so I do not have, if you're here for the Samurai Alpha Predator or the 87 Predator, I do not have them. I do have a class called 87, but that's just leg Predator. It's just basically the 150 Predator. It's basically grayback, aka the older Predator. Just with just silver mask basically and a different loadout. So first we're gonna go into Bad Blood Predator. These Predators have an origin. I'll probably state that in a different video, but first let's talk about what we want to have in our setup. Now, as you see here, we have the combi stick. The combi stick is one of the best weapons you can have in the game. I think you reach it around later in the game, like 75, I believe, but it's one of the best weapons in the game. Not only can you attack melee with it, but you also can throw it. And in fact, I will be showing you guys later on in the video how to attack and throw it properly. And not only you can throw it, but once it has been thrown either on the ground, it can, or on a wall or object, and if it gets stuck on any objects, it will make a like a flash grenade. It's like a flash grenade. You shoot it, whether it hits anyone or not, you hit it, it will flash everyone's screen, and it will do massive amount of damage, which is always good. It's always fantastic. Another weapon we have here is the Smart Disc. The Smart Disc now is, in my opinion, one of the best weapons in the game, and if you're really new to the game, I do not prefer you using the Smart Disc at all anytime soon, until you at least reach not 100, but 175, around where you get around the level you get the combi stick, because it just takes so much master skill. But if you do happen to use it and you are that Predator, that very cocky Predator, and you believe that you're able to use it, go ahead. I'm not stopping you from using it, but just note that it's very difficult to use, and you know, especially in console, especially on PS4. So another thing you want to remember is Smart Disc gameplay is very interesting. I'll also go in depth on how you want to use it. In general, you'll see on my gameplay how I use it and why I use it. But I will tell you one tip that I know you'll probably will notice. If not, you'll see. For starters, I use the Smart Disc sort of like how the Predator from Predator's Falcon uses it, his Falcon drone. I sort of just to scout the area without you being there. Yes, it does have a short amount of time, but you being, you know, inches away from that little base is just enough time for you to see if they're there or not, without you being there. Yes, they will hear you using the Smart Disc, but at least you yourself isn't taking damage and isn't being noticed or spotted. So that's perfect. We're gonna head to the next class now. Actually, before that, we want to get into some things that are major. Remember, when you're always making a class, to always have a healing kit. Now, unless you're like me, and goes for pigs more often, and relies on pigs more than your healing kit, because healing kit does take a bit longer, and it's all a mess. It's a very messy road. If you rarely look at it this way, rarely use healing kits. Get more pigs than healing kits. Pigs are your key. While using pigs are your most accurate thing you want to go for when trying to hunt. Don't use healing kits whatsoever. It's not something you want to use consistently. The next thing you want to use is audio decoy. Now, of course, we understand that the Predator himself, yes, the Predator has an audio decoy, but it barely works, and it's only good for taunting. That's how I play. Maybe you've had different situations where you actually will use the audio decoy on your Predator, but I find the audio decoy, the throwable version, the audio decoy as we have on the gear here, is the most valuable thing because you can disorient any fire team. Some good fire teams will know if it's an audio decoy because they'll see the flashing vibrant aura around the decoy, or they'll just know because the sounds that are coming out of the audio decoy are just absurd and wouldn't make sense. Next thing we want to use, but before we keep going, audio decoys want to have that. If you're like me that likes to fill in the gaps when it comes to the gear, audio decoys are good, but rarely can be used for a situation. Motion detectors. Always use this. Always use motion detectors if you know a fire team's location. Number one, you won't. Once a motion detector has been thrown down, a very good thing to do is, or at least I've noticed a lot of predators don't use, or notice in general, is that motion detectors, once they're in the radius, in fact, once they're out of the radius, they're still being detected, which is it's just something I've just found so useful. So once they're in that little blue aura, and they leave it, they're still being detected as a thing saying kill. So that's fantastic. You also could get not just AI players, but you also could get anyone that's in that. Yeah, not just AIs, but you also could just get general fire team members. So that's fantastic. Next, we're gonna move into perks. Now, this is general hunter class, so we want to look for a class that similar. Just general. It depends really on the perks. The perks depend on your playstyle. So use whatever perks you feel free. But these are the perks that I personally find useful for this main hunter class with this build. I find impenetrable very useful because most fire team members don't use grenade launchers, because grenade launchers, yes, they are good, but not as good. You know, it's a very weak weapon. Unless they're using hammerhead. Hammerhead is an exception. But with that being said, most likely they're using base weapon. Base weapons, so they're gonna, take less damage, as you can see there on the bottom. Obviously, Fearless is obviously extra damage. We want that extra damage, whether it's the Smart Disc or the Combi Stick. We also want to go to Medic because as you can see on the build, we are going up close and, for lack of a better word, dirty. So, with that being said, you want to engage with, very tactical. You want to know when to engage. You'll see through the gameplay when I'm playing how it works and how to play. Now, again, appearance is all up on you. If you people feel like that, appearance is your style, go ahead and make your Predator crazy. As you see, my appearance on my Predator, I have his own little origin. You know what I mean? But I'll probably state in another video. Do whatever you want with appearance. Appearance does not have anything to do with gameplay. It does not make you, cloaked more into the trees. At least I never found it that way. My playing style that way. Good fire teams are always going to know where you're at. So, with that being said, unless you're around the newer ranks, which I'm aiming for, then you will be very hard to find. But, Predator style does not really matter, because if you're a good Predator like me, you'll wipe out fire teams, and the way your Predator looks, go ahead, just customize your Predator. It doesn't matter. But, there's no disadvantage to any of the skins that you put on your Predator. The darker your Predator is, no, it doesn't work that way. But, so go ahead, customize your Predator, feel free. But other than that, the next class we go on to is, Bull Predator. Now, the Bull Predator is I when I first made this class, I wanted it to be a scout mix berserker. You know, I hated the scout's health, and I could deal with it now that I'm a very experienced Yautja. But you know, most young players might find this class to be very unuseful. Number one, because this is a high ranking class. You have to reach a certain level, if I'm correct, to reach it. And if you're new, you might not actually get that class, you know what I mean, at times. So this is more for the mid-experienced players, you know, the casuals that are trying to actually go into a bit more expert class, you know what I mean, when it comes to their hunting. But this class consists of the combi sticks, so of course we're a berserker class, so we want to go in there and try to do as much damage as we can, but we also want to go back and use the Yautja bow. God damn the lame. But you want to use this bow. It's the bow, obviously you'll see more some of the gameplay later on, is the perfect weapon. It's you also can switch between your wrist blade if people are getting up close to you. We'll talk about how to parry very soon in another video. But anyways, so the bow is one of the best weapons you can ask for. I mean, if people decide to start pulling out knives and you are not an experienced Yautja to come face to face, unlike, you know, again, I can counter parries, but most young Yautjas young bloods may not be able to parry. So what I find very useful is the bow. So what happens is, and I know the bow is one of the highest level, so this is what I'm saying, this is more for the you know, players that are experienced but want to take their experience, their hunting to the next level. So, you know, you're with your friends, you're in a private match, and you know these guys are good, and you want to like impress them somehow, or you know, you want to show that you know you're not just a regular run-of-the-mill Yautja they can mess around with. Well, this build right here will tell them otherwise. So, use the bow is perfect. You'll also see in the gameplay different versions of the arrows, the blue and red arrows, and what they mean, and we'll discuss that. Of course, we want to have the healing kit as always. We also have the motion detector because again, it can detect not just within the radius of the motion detector AI enemies and Fireteam members, but also out of the motion detector. They can also be scanned for a certain amount of time. Now, bear traps are I haven't discussed bear traps yet. Bear traps are very well. They work occasionally. Most good Fireteam members will not notice the bear traps. It just has to be that situation where I barely use bear traps, but when I do use them, that's where the Yautja bow comes into handy. Because once they're trapped, you reel it all the way back, you shoot it, you get the red arrow, and again, does massive amount of damage. Not just on if you get a headshot with the bow, you completely knock them down to the ground. It's an instant knockdown. It's fantastic, no matter what level, what class you're using as a Fireteam member. You will get knocked down 100% with a headshot with the Yautja bow, which is insane. You know, and the best part about it is, since they're looking down to disable the trap, their character model is looking down to disable the trap. So you don't even need to aim it directly at the head. You could just well, you are aiming it at the head. Don't get me wrong, but you have more odds of getting a nicer shot at their head and taking more damage because their character's looking at down. So since they're looking down, their whole momentum of you'll notice in the gameplay. I'm pretty sure I'll try to trap someone there, but I barely use traps though. It's a rare situation. I noticed some, for lack of a better word here again, scum predators. They like to use the bear traps right on the exfil. Now, personally, I find that as a Fireteam member so unfair, and it just breaks the code of a Yautja. You know what I mean? The hunt. It's not fun at all. So my point is, yes, it's effective. Don't get me wrong. It's effective most of the time, but not all the time. Sometimes I did it managed to escape, but rarely. So just keep that in mind. The bear traps is one of the best things to use when in this class, this build. Now, thank God we're back at this class because I actually want to change something, and you guys will are noticing that already. then you'll see why I'm changing it. But bear traps, rarely used if you're an experienced player going against an experienced fire team. It will be rarely used. So, but when you do get that bear trap on them, use that to your full advantage. Unless, like the combi stick, they're standing still, so you can aim that and shoot it, and they'll get, again, massive amount of damage. Not just the damage they got on, trapped on the bear trap, but as much more, triple the damage because of the combi stick hit or the Yaoja bow. Now, of course, faster regeneration. I've noticed that this perk is very useful, number one, because for some reason, at least in my opinion, I feel like the Berserker class loses a lot of energy, and has also less movement speed. I don't know, that's just like me, I don't know. I know movement speed is yes, and stamina. So, but I just don't notice that about the energy, I don't know. So I put this perk in here just for that. Because, this is a Scout mixed Berserker class, so you'll see what I'm about to change that resourceful perk. Again, as you read this, increases experience from all sources. We cannot have this because I'm 150. Now, not saying if you're a new player, I prefer, and you really want to grind to 150 to get the Greyback Predator, basically aka the Elder Predator, that when you reach 150 you get him. I prefer getting this perk because playing this class is so disorienting for some good fire teams. I went against one of the best fire teams I know in my group, and they were so disoriented by the way my playstyle was, because this is a Berserker mix Scout. So you're playing a Scout but with a Berserker build, like a Berserker body. So you're going to take less damage for acting as a Berserker. And the reason what you want to do when you're playing this class is not use your stamina when you're on trees. You want to use X. You want to hop on trees, go on trees. Trees is your friend when you're playing this class. I'll show you that a little later. I also play a bit differently, so you can use these builds, and you remember all the builds I make can be used your way. You can have a different play style than me. I like going on trees on this playstyle. Maybe you like just walking and gunning it to them with just a Yaoja bow because you want to have the Yaoja bow and for that extra damage. That's on you. I'm just giving you the blueprint on my opinion on how to use this class and the way I've succeeded to 150 and to become an Elder, okay? So don't just take my things as a blueprint, not as an actual, you know what I mean? Just an actual, like, don't do exactly what I do, but also do it, if it works for you. Like if you feel like running on trees and relying on trees is your thing, then go ahead, by all means. But if you want to use this build for a different reason, go ahead, by all means. Now, what I want to change this perk, if you're a veteran player, was either going to be obviously light burner. You want to consume less energy because you're, again, playing a Scout class. Obviously we don't want to have impenetrable because we are a Berserker class, so we'll be able to eat most damage. But we want to go over here to Adrenaline Boost, and Adrenaline Boost is probably one of the best perks for Berserker class because since he has less stamina and is willing and just wastes it. And this is why I love this class, don't get me wrong, but it's just such a hard class when sometimes I feel like I'm playing a hunter class and I might jump more than once, right? But in this class you can only jump once before you have to wait again a whole bar, right, to jump again. So some people don't like that, some people like it, hit and run or hit the bow and jump away and stuff, So if you're an experienced Yaoja and you have the Adrenaline Boost perk, put that in this class because this class in general, the Berserker class, will help you a lot with your stamina. Now the next one is Medic. If you're, let's say in a scenario you do happen to get shot up pretty bad, of course, you want to heal yourself in a higher speed. Not to mention once you get second wind, because let's say you happen to notice your health a bit lower than expected and you're already against a good fire team, and you are going in there with the combi stick and you forget you were playing a Scout / Berserker class. You're in this class you're supposed to play more Scout than Berserker, what the class was meant to, and you go in there with the combi stick, you smacking all the survivors, but you're smacking all the Fireteam members, and you're losing the damage because they're knifing you, yada yada yada. Worst case scenario, you get second wins. Once you get second wins, you need to run, but thank God we have adrenaline boost that'll get you some XP back to hurry your XP to get ready the recovery. You know, you go into a rock, and they're right there. You know they're coming after you too, because that's the type of fire teams I go against. They're coming after you because they know you have second wind. So you want to use the med kit for higher speed to let's go. You know, we got it. We gotta go. You gotta move. You gotta keep moving. As a predator, that's what I find useful. You always need to move. You can't let them know where you are. You always have to move. After one shot with the bow, you'll move again. You'll hop to a different tree. After another shot with the bow, hop again. It's a routine. You'll see when I'm playing this class later on in a few other videos that this is exactly what I mean by a scout / berserker class. Now, the next thing we want to look for is the all-knowing predator. This predator is a scout class. Obviously, I believe this is the only scout class that I have. And the reason why he's the all-knowing predator is because he's, number one, the fastest predator that I have in any of the builds. He is quick, he is agile, he goes in there, smacks the fire team, heads out, goes with the bow. He is the beast of every one of these classes. In fact, I am a scout main, slash elder, grayback main, so I'm mostly, you know, that I want my hunting experience to be very fast, very quick. You know, you throw the combi stick, you jump again, you hopping and bopping everywhere. They don't know where you at. You know what I mean? They know you're around, but they don't know where you at. They mark you, but then they spot you, then you're hopping around again. Just again, this class is like that berserker / scout class, but this time an actual scout with different perks. So again, we have the algae bow, the combi stick, the healing kit, the motion detector, and now we go to the classes. So the perks. So this is obviously the long jump. So with the long jump, scouts already have a lot of stamina, so there is no problem with jumping around. But what about when you, let's just say you use your heat vision, right? And you use the little icon where you press down right on the D-pad, and you have that little red aura popping up. Experienced players will know what I'm talking about, but for those young blood predators, I will I'll show you what I mean in game. So what happens is, you know, you want to go to them, you want to leap the furthest distance, you want to get there as fast as you can to already start going down range. So what this perk does, it's just, again, it's what the name is, leap further distances. It's perfect. Now you want to head to downrange. Downrange does more damage with throwables. Any throwables and any long range weapons, so including the combi stick, can do even more massive amount of damage, almost like literally one hit with this perk. Another perk, this also works for the algae bow, so this class is perfect when it comes to extra damage. So you got the combi stick with extra damage from throwing it at players. You also have the algae bow from whether you do a relaxed throw shot or a strong shot. So again, if you guys, the red and blue, if you don't know what I mean by that, I'll show you in game. Then we go to light burner binder, if I said that correctly, excuse me. Yes, consumes less energy than cloak. I use cloak a lot when I'm playing this class. Number one, not just to disorient the fire team so much, right? Because I'm hopping and bopping. I'm hopping in one area, I'm hopping to another area. You know, I'm shooting them here, I'm running there. I threw the combi stick so they're blind for a few seconds. Then I grabbed the combi stick because they were blind. You know, I'm everywhere. That's the whole point here, is to make confusion, like in the 87 movie, or in the 87 movie, you know, or like in Predators. You want to make as much confusion as you want, as you need. That's what we want here. So we want to have the cloak on for as long as we can to make it not just a better hunting experience, but to have that cloak on so that way it just disorients them even more. But yeah, I'll explain that a bit more about these perks, and you'll see how much damage and how much use they are in a later video, or depends on what fire team I feel like when we're going up against in a few minutes. 87 Predator. Of course, this isn't the real, like I said, the 87 Predator. This is my, again, for lack of a better word, a bootleg version of that Predator. I missed the pre-order, unfortunately. I was very excited though once I heard that Greyback came out. In general, this Elder Predator came out, and I saw that it had the similar body of the 87 Predator, and I was like, you know what? Wow, they gave us a mask too with it too. Hell yeah! So, anyways, not just alright. So for this class, I won't just be showing you what you get for 150. I'll also be showing you how to work this class out in the next. This will be the first class I use in the video. So this is my main class. So first we start off with the combi stick, and this is another weapon that I hadn't discussed, so I'll tell you what it is. So instead of using the plasma caster on your shoulder, this is basically the handheld plasma caster, as you read there. It is a work of art. It is an overpowered little thing. I mean, this thing does so much damage if you spam it. I mean, it's not semi-auto at all. It's one tap. It's single hit. You keep shooting it, but by pressing R2 rapidly to get pile up as much damage as you want or need, depending on the situation. And this works for a lot of bear trap captures. You know what I mean? It's a very perfect weapon. It's literally one of the best weapons in the game. But take that as you will. Most predators will disagree on me, but when they see this gameplay, you'll see what I mean. Either most predators will disagree, or some will. I know there's a group there that despises the handheld plasma caster, and let's just say I'm looking at a few people. Anyways, so and freaking Fireteam members hate the heck out of this freaking gun. Jesus. Anyway, so healing kit as usual, motion detector, audio. By the way, he can be able to use traps, bear traps, and I'll show you a bit more what this class is and what's his perks, and I'll teach you guys in another later video on what the classes are and what they mean. Well, the base game classes like the Samurai Predator, Elder, Berserker, classes like that, not the Alpha Predator or the 87 Predator. But I'm pretty sure they're just a regular hunter class, just looking like a skin though. Anyways, so we want Adrenaline Boost once again, and Penetrable, because he does have less health, so he will need that. And Downrange, because handheld plasma caster, of course, it's in this name. It's just basically a handheld version of the plasma caster in the shoulder. It's a downrange weapon, so it's going to do a lot of damage when you use this perk. So, next one is Greyback, of course, the iconic Predator 2 Predator that was appeared in Predator 2 in the ship. He even says, take it to the detective, as in, take the flintlock pistol. Anyway, so here we go with the combi stick, the algae bow, the healing kit, the motion detector, the audio decoy, and we go to the impenetrable once again for this class, because I feel like it works best, because, again, he is a scout basically. Scout mixed hunter class. Obviously fearless. I'm pretty sure I just explained what this perk was, because we do have a combi stick, so we want to make as much damage as we can. I was gonna put this on 87 Predator, but I just used a handheld plasma caster a lot with this class, and you'll see in the video how I work that. And I usually throw the combi stick most often. Anyways, so we move on. Downrange, and that's it. So fearless, downrange, and impenetrable. So that's the Greyback class that I have. Next, last but not least, we have the anti-parry class. Now, for those predators, for those inexperienced Yaojas that get so annoyed being parried, once you get to War Club, and this is why I put the Elder Sword there. If you have the katana, unfortunately I do not, because I have not bought the DLC, but do not fear. The katana, I am not 100% clear on this though, so don't quote me on this, but hopefully next month, apparently, at least like they did to Judge Schwafer's weapons, they were allowed the following month. So, next month we could, this is a theory, don't quote me on this, could be seeing the katana for free. You probably might have to be 150, or there might be a new level cap where you might have to level up in order to get him, get the katana. But you only get the katana, you don't get the Samurai Predator class for free. You'll have to pay $4.99 for that, unfortunately. But there you go. But when that class comes out, I'm pretty sure I'll have a build where an Elder probably class has that. I'll show you a little bit later on that. But anyway, so this is the anti-predator class. So, as we have here is the Work Club. If you read the bottom there, it says, does extreme amount of damage. And oh boy, yes it does. Freaking recons and scouts tremble before you when you use the Work Club. I mean, this thing does massive amount of damage. Not just does it do massive amount of damage, but it is one of the most hardest weapons to parry in the game. It is so unpredictable. You can, if you spam it, you can do a 3-tack that will, if I'm correct, I've knocked down several people, but I don't want to say this though, that's pretty bold. But I was gonna say, like, oh, with the 3 hits, it'll knock them down. If you get those 3 hits in, it'll knock them down completely. No, I don't believe that. But it will do a lot of damage. In fact, show you why we have a new perk that you probably haven't seen. And this is more for that last perk. I'll show that last perk there. I'll show you what's better. What's a better variant to that perk if you're a young blood? Anyways, so the Work Club does massive amount of damage and is unpredictable when it comes to parrying. Not most people know how to parry it unless they're spamming the parry. Now we move on to the young blood's most famous weapon to use, the Elder Sword. Now, the Elder Sword is an extremely fast weapon, sort of like Katana, where it does massive amount of damage in a few hits. It does so much damage that it's a very though dangerous sword weapon to use when you're going against a support class Fireteam member, because it does a lot of damage, but it doesn't do, well, it's fast, but it doesn't do a lot of damage. That's the right way of saying it, sorry. But it's fast, but does less damage. But that fast makes up, though, trust me. But if you're against a support, it's pretty bad. So be careful when you're going against a support. I also will show you how to use this class later in a future video. So I will also be making future videos on each individual class. So that way you guys can see what each class in one real match does. Of course, if I die, I'll have to do it again. But likely for me to die is unless there's a real PC, team, or which even then I've defeated several times PC players. But no, yes, fun is or PS4 players in the chat. Elder Sword, it's really good, but it does less damage, but it's fast. And it's very interesting. So I'll show you guys how to use these two weapons at the same time with the Fast Hands perk, and you'll see why it's the anti-parry class. Next thing we'll have on gear is the Symbol 3 Healing Kit, Motion Detector, Audio Decoy, Fearless for that melee damage. Of course, we do a lot of melee. Ozzy here, there's a melee build, so we're going in, in there. I was gonna put Berserker, but I find if we do ever get the second wind and we're, in there, attacking a lot of Fireteam members, we want to pull out as fast as we can. So I find this class to be very, very well on that. So we have Fast Hands, obviously as you read in the bottom there, faster weapon, gear switching. So obviously you can switch quickly to the Work Club, which has a longer animation. So it's good to get quick Fast Hands because it takes it out relatively quicker than normal. That goes with both, primary and secondary weapons, and it goes with any of the gears as you read in the description. Also downrange, and you're probably wondering, hey, why does he have downrange? Well, if you're like me and go against a good fire team, you want to use downrange because you want to use your shoulder cannon, your left shoulder plasma caster, and the reason for is if they're playing very aggressive, and not just mentioning that you're a young blood and you're very experienced when it comes to, using these weapons, right? You're not used to it still, and you want to, they're ripping you apart. You want to hop away from them as far as you can, but not too far. You want to get that plasma caster on the shoulder plasma caster ready to aim it and get those shots with as much damage as you can while it's charged, not while it's regular, guys. Remember the whole R2 as long as you can until it tells you not to, and try to predict where your target is. Again, I'll show you on a video what this class could do. Obviously, this is my Venom Predator. Again, that is it, I believe. Yep, that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. I will be only showcasing one match after this, and we'll see. So here we are. I will probably be picking the 87 Predator though. Before I go, I'll showcase this class. So this will be a sort of a double, like this will be a loadout review, but also like how to play Predator slash how to play this 87 class that I made too. So also you'll get to see how this 87 Predator class is, how overpowered the handheld plasma caster is, and you'll see in general how to play the 87 class. So in my opinion, let's go in depth onto the appearance though. This is my favorite build. Again, I love them. I love the attention to detail they did on this Predator. They just gave him so much love. Actually, this should be the wrong Predator. They gave him so much love. Greyback, of course, is one of the all-time favorite Lost Tribe Predators. He's the main elder you see in Predator 2. If you're a real fan of Predator, you'll know what I'm talking about. But you know, for those that are young bloods and may not know the origins of our friend here, Greyback, he's one of the best hunters out there. That's all I gotta say. And one of the best teamwork Predators you're gonna ever find. And you know, he's pretty cool. So, with that being said, we're gonna go see what he has. Once you reach 150, you'll go to head. You can't change the body, unfortunately, so you can't change the skin pattern. But you can't also change the armor. But what you can do is change the mask, the dreads, and you could change the trophies. He'll have a trophy on his right side of his hip. So as you see there, he has the Bobcat skull. I'm trying to get the flintlock pistol, so it could be a recreation of that scene where he gave him the revolver. I mean the flintlock pistol in the movie, which would definitely make this a complete set with the flintlock pistol. So, anyways, we go over here. You also get a new mask. It's basically, like I said, a carbon copy of the 87. Like, I'll show you here for a few seconds of what the 87 Predator mask looks like. As you see, it has that little damage as the iconic 87 Predator had on the mask. The little chips it does on the mandible plating there. We move up though. You can see that it's a bit rusty. It's a bit old, worn out. Like he's been through a lot of you know, you can see similarities. It's not technically it's not a copy and paste. You can tell on the eyes where the eyes are. You know what I mean? It becomes a bit more skinnier there. You see that? Like there's, you know, around the eyes. There's just something about this mask that makes it different. I think it's the eyes, like the visor, if you will, around there. Just something like more sharper there. It just looks so much cooler in my opinion. But of course, I just have so much nostalgia for the 87, better than the Elder. But you know, I have both for both nostalgia. Now, here we go. You also, like as you saw with the 87 bootleg, for lack of a better word, again, class that I made. You can also have the iconic silver, just straight up silver. So I thought that was nice. You know, if you were able to not get the 87 Predator mask, you know, you were able to at least get a similar variant where you just have, you know, silver like that. So here's the other paints you get for it. Now, as you see here, once you reach 150, you'll also get golden paint scheme for all Predator masks, so including Prophet, Plague. You know, you get golden for all the masks, so you kind of get that lovely style. Some people prefer platinum because it's more like brighter, you know. It's like a Predator mask that just came off the manufacturing, you know, line. But us 150 Predators, know the real deal has to be gold. It's it's not just a good flexing, you know. It's just, in my opinion, a flex good. Don't get me wrong, you know, platinum looks nice too, but gold though shows that you've made it this far. But anyways, with that being said, so you also get Predator Dreads, and you can't change the skin of them though. He just has the Elder Dreads just like that. You can also put this. You can put the mask, by the way, Elder Mask, on any Predator, and including the Dreads. Also, you can have, you know, like I did with the 87 Predator, having the classic Dreads, just a regular 87, you know, Dreads, and then with the I put like a little battle scar war paint on him just to show that, like, you know, he killed Dutch and he survived, and now this is him like years later in an alternate universe, you know what I mean? Then he comes back into a, like he was flying or something, and he comes into a warp hole, and then comes back into the our universe, and our alternate universe, like our universe, and you know, he's like, oh wait, Dutch is alive, but he killed me, what? You know, and then he hunts him, you know, Dutch wafer again, you know, Dutch around, you know, the year 2025, and he tries to kill Dutch again. And will he prevail? We won't know until we head into a match. So finally, let's get to a match already. Dang. So hopefully you enjoy my classes. You know, I worked really hard and to make these classes. I really had to actually play with the classes and see them, and, you know, see how good they are against a really good fire team that's not just communicating, not just munning up all the frequently, which I'll also get on the classes about my fire team classes a bit later in another video. But this is I'm more of a Predator main, and I understand there's not a lot of Predator mains out there. So if you're a Predator main, hell yeah, you know, it's all about that Predator grind, alright? So with that being said, let's hop into a match. I understand the video might be a bit longer than usual, and I will tell you a little something though about the drops, so you guys learn something, a thing or two. So if you want a lot of good Predator drops, or general a lot of drops that raises your chance of getting something good, you want to go to the field lockers. You want to purchase one, just one. You want to open it. I don't have a lot of Veranium, so I don't know if I can showcase this a lot. But you want to open it, and right here, once they're done getting what you have, dang, only 100 left. I could have actually done it. But if you'll instead of spamming like a bunch of field lockers, you actually just want to have one field locker. Like one field locker comes in, then the other one. You know, so you won't just conserve your Veranium and, you know, picking if you want to keep going on and purchasing, you know, crates. You can also, you know, it gives you a chance to back away. It gives you a chance also to have a better odds. In fact, I've gone double all 3 reds before. You know, it's sort of like a Vegas slot machine. You know what I mean? This is not a guarantee mythical. You know what I mean? Like, this ain't a guaranteed trophy. You know, a mythical trophy. This is just a helpful tip that gets you your odds increased. That me and the Expendables, which is a group clan of ours, have decided it's the best way to do it. You know what I mean? The best way to get Veranium. It's honestly the best way to not just grind for crates, but it's a smarter and save currency way to purchase crates as well. So you won't just be saving currency like after you're, you know what I mean? It's safer to buy. You know, it's perfect. It's the perfect thing. Perfect way to buy crates. Another thing is though, I am so close to collecting all of the OWLF tapes. As you see here, I only have 1 more left, and that's 7. Once I get that, I'll probably make a video on all of the tapes, all of them, you know, being played. I love skill. For me, I'm ready for anything. I love when a good PC 4-man and a good fire team is hunting me down, because that means I won't just have to change my tactics and the way I play, and this is for young bloods to understand as well. I'll also develop a knowledge of how they play. So if they're playing really aggressive, that means I need to play really passive. You know, because they're gonna come to me, right? So why don't I just put that cheeky bear trap down on the ground here, and put a mine there, not a mine. What was it called? A motion detector, right? And you know, see once they get trapped, or not even, because I think it'll indicate to you that they did get trapped. So you know, you throw the trap down, you know, the indication goes up, and there you go. Alright guys, so here we are in a match. And, okay, so that guy had a mic. I had to mute him real fast. Sorry about that, guys, for the inappropriate mic raising there. But here we are with the Elder class. We're using the Plasma Hand, Plaster thing, and the Combi Stick. And we'll also be using, I'm muting everyone because I can't. And we'll also be using the Adrenaline, obviously the perks that I use, the Impenetrable, and Downrange, and of course those. So let's see. I'll show you guys how we do. If I do die, at least you young bloods, you'll learn what not to do, and you'll see in this gameplay that I'll try to do the best I can. We're running at a really good ping rate right now, so we have a Dutch wafer, exactly what we want to hunt. As the alternate universe 87 Predator. By the way, I'd rather have the Combi Stick out. A few things you want to learn. You want to get the if you're going against an experienced fire team, you want to alert them. But for our sake, we're not going to do that. So before they can even mud, as you saw there, now I have an idea because I pressed the targeting activated where they're at immediately, right after they spawned. Because you spawn first, they don't spawn. So now I have an idea of where they're at. If I play relatively poor, excuse that, but you'll see, like I said, what not to do. Want to get pigs, because pigs are your vital thing to get. It's just the key here when you're playing Predator, especially a high-class Predator such as Elder that has low health and needs. I should be in a party, but I guess it was wrong for me not. So they also can hear you when you're talking in game. So that was wrong by me. I'll probably do that in the next video and not do that. If I be quiet for a minute, that's because... There you go, see, you throw the Combi Stick, it does a shit ton of... Oh, excuse my language. It does a crap ton of damage.
We don't leave people behind.
We're almost done, there you go. Okay, so that was my fault there. Oh, we're taking all that damage. That was bad. That was not good. Don't do that, guys. Don't be a thirsty Predator like me. As you see, I'm racking those kills up, doing as best as I can. I'm probably getting a second wind here. Yep, it's okay though. I don't think they not a really good fire team, to be honest. Not a really good fire team. Oh, maybe. Oh, not in time. So close, yet so far. Let's get this kill. Oh, that's it. We're done. And there you go. So let's see what the players have to say. Good stuff, everybody. Good stuff. GG.
GG's.
Alright, well there you go. We wiped that Fireteam. And see, that's what you guys need to do. See how there was a few. See, when you're playing Predator, there's a lot of predicting ahead. That was my fault because I was number one. I landed on the stairs instead of actually on the helipad. Number two, I didn't jump a bit more further away from them. I was so close that they could have seen me if they were at that building. If you're a really good fire team, you got second wind by an AI, you know. I'm assuming they got knocked down. That last team got knocked down because of the either the combi stick I threw or something I threw. I think no, it was just that I guess the AIs were over her. I'm assuming, and unfortunately, it downed that person. So you know, it is what it is. But there you go. You sort of get a taste of what the 87 sort of has to offer. I'll probably make the next video or the next live stream I do, or the next video I do, will be me using the 87 a bit more, so that way you guys see a full-fledged of what the 87 really has to offer, and me playing the way you know, the proper way of playing. Also, I'll be showcasing the Bad Blood Predator and the Bull Predator and a few other. Bull Predator will probably be my last one because I haven't played him in a long time, and I really want to get used to working with him, so I'm a bit more knowledgeable on how to use him. With that being said, guys, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and please follow Vice Productions. They're making a new video game mobile on I believe it's Google. So you know, Vice Productions, not Vice, not the regular, just that Vice, the news company, but Vice Productions. Anyways, thank you for watching. Again, please like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell everybody you know, your cat, dog, anyone you know, and please share this with everybody, any young Yautja hunters, because it's sad to say that a lot of my young bloods that I've played with or fought against, unfortunately, have died. I've seen a lot of young bloods die and let the fire team escape just for the dumbest reasons, because they're inexperienced. And if you're a fire team member and you're watching this video, this is not to disadvantage you, but trust me, you've probably killed a lot. And if you're a fire team main, you've probably killed, trust me, you probably killed a lot more frickin' predators in your time than I have, and disabled their bombs and stuff, and their wrist computers and stuff. So this is just for those young bloods and those you know, those that are inexperienced at the game and or casuals that are trying to become a better hunter, you know, when playing the game. So again, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, have a good day. Other than that, thank you.